What's up you guys, welcome back to Geek in the Closet, and today we are going to be looking at Revoltech's Donatello figure. Now here's a look at the box packaging. Donatello comes in the standard window box packaging similar to the rest of the turtles, except of course it's purple. On the side here you can see a very cool image of Donatello himself, and on the back are various poses that you can make him do, and together with the accessories and of course the 4 turtles available at the moment. Now here are the accessories that come together with Donatello. So let's have a look at the alternative head right here. Wonderful paint, wonderful sculpt, adorable looking face right here, and the heart as well that goes together with it. If I'm not mistaken, this is the exact same expression as when Donatello met April O'Neil for the first time in the animated series by Nickelodeon. Awesome stuff. And here is of course Donatello's signature staff right there. Wonderful paint, fantastic sculpt to make it look like authentic wood right there. There's a little bit of a paint problem over here, but not a very big problem, not an issue at all. There's a peg right there that fits into his palm. Awesome. And this is the other staff that comes together with him. Of course, the only difference is this blade at the end, which I love because it's articulated and it's painted with this metallic paint, metallic silver paint, which is magnificent. I love this so much, and I probably pose him most of the time with this one rather than the other one. There's also a peg right there. Now of course, similarly to the rest of the turtles, Donatello comes with this display stand of a fire hydrant over here. It pegs in at the bottom right there, of course, and this is a little bit tight. Okay, alright. Let's have a comparison with Leonardo's display stand over here. So Donatello's is slightly shorter compared to Leonardo's display stand. This is Raphael's display stand, also shorter, I would say. And of course, this is Michelangelo's display stand. So compared to the rest, the other 3 display stands, Donatello's display stand is the shortest among the 4 of them, basically. Let's have a look at Donatello on top of the display stand. It fits the same way as the rest of them, of course. Okay. Alright, wonderful. And it doesn't give it much much height in his aerial posing though. So my favorite is definitely gonna be Michelangelo's display stand because it gives him height. And there you go. Now here's a look at Donatello up close. And first impression, when I see him, he is a very tall figure. He is somewhat elongated compared to the rest of the turtles, of course. He even comes with a neck, and I'm pretty sure that only he comes with a neck. Donatello has his missing tooth right there, of course. And his, the middle tooth right there is missing. He also comes with super red eyes for some reason, and I doubt that this is actually cartoon accurate. I didn't notice him having such red eyes. Maybe a little bit, but not this red. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not too sure about that. Of course, as you can see, a buckle over here, and the stitching at the bottom right there. A little bit of scratches over here on his belt. He also comes with a, I'm pretty sure it's a different colored bandage around his wrist and his feet is a slightly greenish color. We'll see later when we compare it together with the rest of the turtles. He comes with the typical knee pads similar to the other turtles, and the elbow pads as well, and the finger bandages. Let's have a look at the back. I love how this purple bandana, how it turned out to be. It's very clean, very nice. I love it. Of course, there's a peg hole right there and a peg hole right here. This is for the weapon, of course. Very well done. And there you go. No peg holes on the bottom of his feet as usual. Yeah, I am loving this figure. I must say that Revoltech really knocked it out of the ballpark with all the TMNT figures. Well, mine has a little bit of a paint smudge on his elbow right there, but that's not a big problem. Not a big issue at all. Awesome stuff. Now here's Donatello together with his alternative head. What a creep. Now what I love about this alternative head is that the heart really goes freaking well together with his facial expression right there, with his drool dropping down like so. Really cool. Unfortunately, this heart does not apply with the other turtles because of how the neck is sculpted. Donatello has that elongated neck right there, so it's possible, but not very possible with the other turtles. Now let's have a look at the weapons that goes together with Donatello right here. The peg on his back like so, which fits perfectly well for his staff, as you can see. Yeah, you got to be careful though, because some of these pegs are very tight together, so you might want to be careful not to scratch up the paint on the back or in his palm, in his hands right there. Yeah. The unfortunate thing about having the peg on his staff is that you don't get the freedom of posing Donatello with his staff. For example, if you want to do a monkey god pose like so, the peg is actually visible, so you can't really do so unless you are okay with hiding the peg like that. And of course, there are actually peg holes on both of his hands right there, so you can actually move them around. This is the other staff that comes together with Donatello, which I prefer. Okay, there you go, and it is possible for him to hold it with two hands as well due to his magnificent Revoltech articulation. Now in terms of articulation, Donatello has the exact same articulation as all the other turtles, which is basically the traditional Revoltech articulation right there. So the joints are actually on his head. He has articulated eyes as well, which moves left to right, which is fantastic. His bandana moves around as well. His the joints connect right here, which gives it a very good range of movement. On his elbow as well, on his wrist, and on his fingers too. He does have an ab crunch. The joint is on the inside, which is fantastic. You can't exactly see the joint on the outside. Normally there will be a crack right there, so you can actually see. For an example, like the Marvel Legends wave. His joint also, it's on his leg right here, it's on his knee, and on his ankle, which is perfect. And here's a look at Donatello in comparison with Michelangelo. You can actually tell by the height difference, Donatello is so much more taller. And also the paint, the green color is definitely of a different tone compared to Michelangelo right there. His bandages on his feet and his wrist are of a different color too. And here's a look at Raphael. You can actually tell the very obvious height difference now, together with the stubby, the muscular build of Raphael compared to the nerdy Donatello right there. And of course the shade of the green is so much more different. And here's a look at Donatello together with Leonardo. So far Donatello still stands the tallest, and I love the fact that Revoltech made them all different, even the shade of green right there. Now overall I must say that Donatello is a phenomenal figure. He would definitely make it a wonderful addition to your collection. My gripes about him would include the height of the display stand. It might be a little bit short, but not a big problem over there. The pegs on his weapons limits his posing options, but not a big problem as well. And his bloodshot red eyes, that gives me the impression that he is super bloodthirsty. But definitely Donatello is awesome, and I would definitely recommend him to you guys. And so ends the final review of the fourth and final turtle, Donatello. Now here's a look at all of the turtles combined together on their display stands. And I must say that it brings tears to my eyes because this looks amazing. Now the problem with displaying them together like this on their display stands is because on the base of each display stand is manhole covers, so it gives me the impression that they are actually on a street with multiple manhole covers next to each other. That's why I've actually included these Tamashii Nation explosion effects to actually cover them up. But that's not a big problem whatsoever. Now if I had to rank them from best to worst, I would say that Leonardo is number 1, Donatello is number 2, Michelangelo is number 3, and Raphael is number 4. Now the reason why Michelangelo and Raphael being at the bottom 2 is because of the problems that came together with the figure, which is basically this spinning nunchuck accessory right there. It's a little bit loose, so it's very annoying for me to balance it on his hand right there. And if you've actually seen my previous review of Raphael, there's actually a gap on his head right there, which is a little bit annoying. But overall I would say that these figures are phenomenal and it's amazing. I definitely recommend you get the whole set and you will definitely not regret it. All you have to do is very carefully have a look at the figures through the box if you can for any problems and whatnot, and then decide on whether to get them or not. Well, that's it for my review, guys. Thank you guys once again for watching. Please do like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Peace! Duh.